Hello, everyone, and welcome to an opportunity to learn with a soldier of Israel who has taken upon himself so many elements of this experience and reality in a way that people who are outsiders like myself, who have never had an army experience, who have never connected in a private way with the military reality, it is for me an ongoing journey of learning. It's something that I appreciate every moment because I know that behind the headlines, we are dealing with real human beings, with individuals who have to put their life on hold and who do everything to serve the nation, serve the state, and dream of a future where our soldiers will be able to also enjoy the peace that they provide to us, that they give us through their generosity of spirit, their bodies, their minds, and their souls as they serve as the watchmen on our walls. I am so pleased to welcome you all to A Jew Today, my podcast as a part of Israel Forever, where I try to bring individuals that I find fascinating, that I am blessed by God to have encountered in some random way, as I have here with Itamar Hayun, who has become a good friend and shall we say, kindred spirit in trying to find new methods of empowerment for the people around the world who are feeling the struggle. And the struggle is real. We are still living now nearly 2 years into war, active war here in Israel and silent war everywhere else around the world. But unfortunately, it's not so silent as we see anti-Semitic riots taking place. Oh, I'm sorry, protests, encampments. Let's call them by their polite social voice, social titling. Let's make them as clean. But at their core, they are nothing more than calls for jihad. And as a soldier in Israel's army, our defense forces never forget to remind people that while they try to change the name to IOF, Israel Occupation Forces, or the Zionist Occupation Forces, or whatever type of euphemism they try to use to demonize the Israel Defense Forces, they are nothing but lies. And your knowledge of the truth is bound to what individuals like Itamar can share with us about his truth, the truth of being a soldier for Israel. So welcome, Itamar. Thank you so much for being with me, for being a friend, and for always sharing with me your stories.
Thank you very much, Elana. I'm really happy to be here, and I'm sure that we're gonna show to the world and to the audience what is the real soldiers and what kind of people we are. And I believe that we showing over here like you said, the real truths, something that we believe and something that we fight for because in the end of the day, I'm a father. And I have a kid that is 4.5 years old, and someone need to take care of him. That the terrorists not gonna come and kill them like they did on the October 7th. So my generation, I'm 32 years old. We take care responsibility for our nation, for our people. And that's the reason why we keep going to serve our country. And in a few days, like I told you before, I'm going to the sixth round. It's mean every time that Israel called me and say, hey, you need to come, even if it's to Gaza and if it's to North, to any place that they need us, we will come. And yeah, that's how we help to what happened, you know.
The sixth round of reserve service. And do you still count the days? I mean, we're still counting the days since the massacre and the hostage taking. And you wonder, would we be counting the days if it was just war and not hostages? How many days, how many soldiers fallen? Do you still count the days of how you've been in reserve, or no, not so much?
Not so much, but I know, because it's almost 300 days, and now we have more 70 days. So, yeah.
Wow. I mean, now, so that gives us a picture. It's a year of your life that you will have dedicated to volunteer service of returning back. I want for those people who don't really understand what we call miluim, the reserve service. A lot of people just don't get it. They don't understand, how does somebody get called? Why are there so many rounds? And frankly, why is the government not providing better for the reserve families and for the soldiers, all of the resources that we've continuously been raising funds for and trying to provide, even things as basic as socks? There's a lot of questions out there of, what the reserve service continues. You're going back. What do you do? What do you do in that service? Why are you still fighting? Is a new question people are asking themselves, because they're being told that this is a senseless war. They're being told that we are keeping the fighting going. Well, you are on the ground, and as you've shared, nearly on every front you have been, right here and you've also, I know, been in Judea and Samaria at one point. Is that right? And you've been all over. So what would you say to the people who are saying you're keeping the fighting going? What do you
Okay,
say?
so we need to start from the beginning, okay? When
Mhm.
I start my duty, it was when I was 18 years old, okay? And no one told me, hey, you need to go to the army, hey, because I saw a picture of my dad in the home when he was in the army, okay? When he was in my age, he was fighting in the same wars, we have a history, we can see everything. And then my big brother, the same thing. He go to the military to the same unit that I'm over there right now. And in the age 18 of 21, I did my duty. Basically, I finish everything. I give my time. I give my energy. I give the best year. Let's call it. Okay, I can go to college. I can go to do anything else, but. I decided to go to serve my country because I know that this is kind of security that we have to, because then if you don't have a security, you don't have a business, you don't have everything in your life. This is the basic of our that we can grow up. And after the October 7, I understand and I saw everything. I lost friends that been in the party. I lost a friend that's called Hadar Goldin. He was sleeping a band behind on the top of me. And I think that this is something that people understand right now. What is all the people that kidnapped, okay? It's something that go with me over 10 years. Okay, it's something that it's inside of my heart that I'm thinking about him and I'm asking where is he, and it's something that is missing. And that's one of the reasons when the country called me, and after that I saw everything that happened in October 7. I heard, the families and the stories, and I've been there also a day after, but I've been there. I saw everything in my eyes. I was smelling the stuff, and I think this is something that in the same day, me and my team, when everything started, we said, even if the country will call us for 2,000 days, we will keep going. We will keep coming. The reason? Because we will remember. Sometimes I'm a little bit laughing about it, but we eat so much sugar and then our brain just forget stuff, okay? We forget. But I will never forget what I saw in my eyes, and that's the reason why I keep going, because I think that if kind of stuff will happen again in my in the same days that I'm here, I'm really gonna be upset on it if I'm not gonna go and if it's gonna happen again. So that's one of the reasons.
Well, it emphasizes the point that it's not revenge for what you witnessed as having had to taken place, but it's actually preventative. Because just like you saw the photo of your father in uniform and that inspired you, these Gazan children have for decades been seeing pictures of their parents being martyrs, and they dream of doing that as well. So, as you said, we are really fighting the same war. We keep trying to fight so that we can keep the peace. but we are fighting people who simply are seeking our destruction, who thirst for death and murder. It is literally the basis of their ideology and all that drives their existence. It makes it very understandable to those of us who grasp those points that we are being put into a uncomfortable position of enacting a preventative method, because we often say Israel is defending itself, but what we're doing right now is we are being preventative towards the future need to defend them ourselves. But so was your father, and we question, how long will this continue? How can we put an end to this cycle? We're in the aftermath of some very difficult uh, rise in terror attacks everywhere, attempted terror attacks, over 1,000 just since the beginning of 2025 that have been thwarted. There were so many in 2024, and we see this number continue to rise. And immediately, 24 minutes after the Palestinian Authority announces the continuation of their pay for slay program, two young men go into Jerusalem and they shoot up a bus. And we have 6 dead, dozens who have been wounded, and a very serious breach of security. Again, who were the soldiers who took them out? They were two Haredi soldiers who were defending their Haredi community, and and we know this fight is going to touch every element of Israeli society, and it's going to touch every element in the world. And they are not waking up to that, and they don't have soldiers like yourself to be their guards. So how does that make you feel, being a soldier who continues to serve the needs of the country, but you're also very attuned to what's going on in the society, not only over there in Gaza or on the northern border or in Judea and Samaria?
Okay. First of all, the kind of people that like me that keep going to the service, they only less than 1%. Okay. Less than 1% of people, yeah, people that keep going and keep fighting for this stuff. And I think something special in the army that you can really feel how good are people over there from all, like you say, you have Haredim, you have Datiim, you have religion, you have like from all over the world, from all over Israel, and also from the world that coming Chayalim Bodedim.
Lone soldiers, yes.
Lone soldiers, exactly. So I think you feel kind of people that you have from just let's say, yeah, from all over the places. They're coming together and they understand that they have to be the guard of Israel. That if they need to keep on the borders and if they need to go into Gaza, they will keep doing the stuff for their families because they know
Mhm.
they did something when they was 18, they've been in 18 years old, and they have to keep going with this today because you can't send all the kids over there to Gaza alone, okay? You need someone that you have more experience that can be the leader of over there, and then more people at the age of 18, 22 will come. But you can't send them first. It's not fair because they don't have the experience to this kind of stuff, and it's hard. It's kids.
And yet these are, the young man who had taken out the terrorists this morning. I mean, I think I heard he was just a few months in the army. I mean, they are indeed kids, and simultaneously we hear the news of 3 young soldiers in service duty on duty soldiers and their commanding officer, if I'm not mistaken. Exactly what you're saying, which is that there's one leader. I don't know if it was a commanding officer, but and it's just heart wrenching. They are babies, and we are raising our babies. You have, with your son and mine, me with mine, and that we're raising them to know that this war may continue. And the generations to come need to know that, because who are we to believe, just like I think you're saying that you're of the 1% who's showing up again and again at every call.
Yeah.
And we need that in every place in the world where there are Jews, to say, we need that percentage of people who are going to say, I'm going to be a part of the fight. And there are a lot of people out there who are taking on the fight in terms of what's going on against Israel and with the rise of anti-Semitism, which are one and the same. People try to separate them. But I think, how does it feel as a soldier when you are watching this new, it's obvious, third intifada now be globalized? How, as the soldier, do you feel? You're the 1% continuing to go back. What does that say, and what would you say to the others around the world that they could do while they're not being called into service?
First of all, they have to keep working on themselves, okay? Because like we talked about it last time, but I think around 80% from the whole world is mentality, okay? It's stuff that happen in our mind, in our head. It's stuff that we think about something, and it's not really, maybe it's true, maybe it's not, but it's something that we thinking about it so much, and that's what really scared us inside us. Okay, I learned something when I was 18 in the beginning, I remember, and I think it's something that walk with me still now, over 10 years, is still with me. It's a sentence to say it's not over until it's over, and it will never over. Okay? We part of the Jewish nation that think about what happened 2000 years ago, and you understand that it's not something that's gonna end, even if the war will end tomorrow or today or in the next year, and we have over here a peace and love and everything, still it's the terrorists and the stuff will show up, even if it's once in a year, but it will show up. The reason why I'm saying that, because it's never stopped. Okay, even if it stopped, for 5 years, for 10 years, it's never gonna end like this. So I think you just have to, well,
And yes, so look, why is that something that we recognize and others don't? Is it because they have not experienced a face-to-face with terror? Like, I hear even from a lot of people, wherever they are in the world, or even Israelis who went traveling, because it's not something that I really do so much. I don't, and they say, well, and I didn't experience anti-Semitism. And is it kind of like what you're saying is so true, but unless people actually experience an event of terror, they'll never believe how easy it is that it will continue?
yeah, you need to be with, like you said, with experience. Okay, you have to see stuff, you have to do stuff, you have a friends and family and kind of stuff. I think when you hear it sometimes all only from the news, so it's not really true. Okay, it's not really the same thing, like you see it in your eyes or you heard it from your friend that been there. You understand? It's not the same.
The soldiers don't like to talk. I was one of a few people who, I felt really lucky when I was young. I had a good handful of Israeli friends that I had met through my leadership work with the World Zionist Organization. I was the the head of the international young leadership for B'nai B'rith, and I was a member of the World Zionist Council for many years. And I had these soldier friends, and they actually told me stories. Most soldiers do not. They don't like to talk. They don't like to expose those raw elements of what they have endured. So if you don't have friends like that, and when soldiers go in public and speak and give speeches, it's very, very different than like what you and I are doing right now, which is having a human face to face, because people are trying to dehumanize Israeli soldiers. The
Yeah.
longer the war continues, the more that happens, the more lies and libels that are spread. I mean, there are huge billboards that claim that is the horrific things that they did on October 7th are actually, it was Israeli soldiers who do it, and they do it continuously throughout Gaza. I mean, these are things that other people, naive people, will always take as truth, because they've never heard a soldier speak openly. Most don't. So, okay, how do we try to imagine? And I know that that's hard yeah, right? Like you're saying, we need to get ourselves prepared inside. And I think imagination is a big part of it. As a Holocaust educator, I had to figure out how to tell my students, you'll never understand what took place there. Just like I will never understand what is happening inside of Gaza. I will never grasp it. I can see the video of the building collapse, and I can see the fabricated images of the starvation, the posed photos of the babies, and it's all so posed. So I can see that. I don't have to imagine it, but the truth is actually something we are stuck trying to imagine in order to then, and that's where the cycle continues, Itamar, in order to humanize the soldier and say, your mindfulness that you're trying to teach me can speak to me. Do you know what I'm saying? Do you understand how we're limited in understanding? How would you trigger the imagination then of somebody who all their imagination is telling them is that Israeli soldiers are killing Gazan babies?
Yeah, yeah, you're right. It's hard, and I'm thinking how to explain it, because you can see stuff, you can see video, and you can but it's not the same thing when you're there, when you see it in your eyes and you can understand. Okay, no one with my friend, okay, will ever kill a baby, ever, because I know my friend and I know their family, and I've been there and I saw what happened over there. The same thing that we're talking with me right now. So imagine to yourself that this is kind of the soldiers, the warriors that on Israel, okay, that's fighting over there. There are people with the good people. There are parents. Imagine to yourself people that education, they understand stuff. They're talking about the stuff. They're talking about the feeling. Okay, men are talking about feelings. It's not kind of a person that you can imagine like animals that go and race and do stuff that unbelievable stuff that happened like hundreds and thousands of years. We have rules, okay? We grow up with rules. We really kind of people. So when you imagine to yourself a warriors in Israel, a soldier, you need to imagine like a good person, someone with that give light to the world. Okay, this is kind of his person. You have to imagine him and understand that he doing the stuff to protect his people, his country, because he's not gonna do it if everyone from the border is gonna say, "Okay, I'm going home." So then you can imagine what's going to happen. I think this we have a bad experience that happened, unfortunately, like you said, almost 2 years ago. So, so you have to imagine a person that he taken responsible to his life, and I promise you that I prefer to do another stuff. Okay, I prefer to do a better stuff to the world. But right now, in this moment, the country call me, so I will keep showing up. Okay.
You know, individuals like yourself have a commitment. I think many people lack a sense of loyalty and pride in that commitment. I think it's a really beautiful thing. And look at now what you're doing, because in addition to the warrior mindset training that you've been providing in the books that you've made accessible, you'll have to remind us when it's available in English for our English speaking followers. Um, and but you're also have transformed that in now a massive project, a massive endeavor that is bringing comfort to those very soldiers whose lives are committed. And I feel as a woman, and I'm in my kitchen and every week, and I'm providing meals for soldiers, and I'm given this sense of, wow, I can make some tiny impact. Tell me a little bit about what you're building so that you're able to provide for those who enduring the worst things while facing these horrific realities of an entire society determined to destroy us, if not now, then tomorrow, where will they lay their heads? Thanks to you.
So it's really nice because you know, when you're in your bad experience, okay, in your lowest place in your life, sometimes you have to, like you say, to find from the lemon to do it like a lemonade, let's say. So when I was there in the lowest place, I find myself fighting for my home, okay, like I told you over here, the sixth round. And the sniper almost shoot me, and I lost friends, and really hard time. And then when I came back to my place, to the apartment that I rent, I was looking, and I just feel my sore like fall down. Okay, I felt something with all of my body, and I ask myself a question: how it can be that someone is fighting for his home, but he don't have a home to live? Okay, because I noticed in the first round that we get the pay from the government, but it's not like in US or a kind of place. Okay, the pay that we get, we need to pay for the rent, we need to pay for the garden of my kids, like I told, and then other stuff, and then you don't find yourself a place that you can save money to buy a home that is it's really expensive over here. Okay, you find yourself just a volunteer, but how many days you can volunteer in you need to take care of your family, you need to take care of your son, your family. And then I find myself keep going, of course, keep serving, but start asking the questions, asking I thought maybe it's only me that live like this, but then I found another one and another warrior and another soldier and another one. And a few months later, we've been community of 300 warriors that say, hey, we're fighting for our land, for our home, but we don't have land to live there. And today I can tell that 8 months later, we over 1,000. Okay, over 1,000. And right now, what I'm doing, I'm going to the mayor of every city, and I'm going and take with me lawyers and חברי knesset, how you said it in
Members of Parliament, yes.
yeah, I'm doing a lot of meeting. Like I did over 300 meetings on the last 8 months with kind of people to find a solution because it's a problem, you know. If we take like 100 years ago, so people was fighting for the land. They don't give them the money, they give them land, and then they can build a home. Okay, you start from scratch, but you have something that you can build on it. Okay, even it's with woods. But the problem over here that the land it's very expensive, or it's very hard to get it. It's not like you go to the supermarket and you buy I don't know, a milk. You can do it, okay? You have to go to Hagrala. Um,
Hagala, like a lottery.
yeah, something like that. And yeah, it's really hard. So Home for Warriors coming to help with this kind of stuff. And I think I bring a lot of opportunity for the people, and we keep working on it. I'm looking on this like a marathon. Okay, I knew it that it's gonna take me a few years, maybe 10 years, but I see what people really say to me, and I think this is something that I like to do.
And you've already achieved some land acquisition, right? You've acquired some property. And how does it work? Where will each of the soldiers, will they be able to own? Is it collective? What's the framework that you're trying to build that you think is going to be conducive to those soldiers' lives?
Okay, so there is two options. The first one is a private land, okay, that we coming as a group for someone that he have a private land, and we wanna buy this land together and then build something together. This is when it's private, it's much more easier. And over here we have also a few options. But there is not so much private lands over here. In US, for example, most of the land is private, and there is
Mhm.
a little bit of the government. Over here, more than 90% is of the government. So I'm going for the people that's sitting in the government, and I'm telling them this problem, and I learned to knock on the table and say, hey, we have a problem, and we need to find a solution. So we find also a land that is also that Israel want that people will be there, okay? Because you don't want to trust on a border like happened in Gaza. You want to trust that warriors or soldiers will be there, they will live there. And then you have also the security for the nation. So we're working on it that we're gonna get the land for free, okay? And then we're gonna live over there, and then the country will enjoy that. The soldiers will enjoy that, and Israel will enjoy it because they have more security. So I think everyone, it's something that everyone can live with this.
It's interesting because there is in all of the reports that came out, on, of course, the failures that led to October 7th. And one of them was the distance of the region from some of the major bases, because the bases that were so close were quickly overtaken.
Yeah.
And so, do you believe that creating this community of soldiers and reservists that are able to own their own home, grow a community, prosper, and you think that will increase the potential should, God forbid, any other breach of our border happen again?
Yes, yes, I think because the same people are our people that are fighting together. Okay, you remember we've been together in the base in Nahal Oz. Okay,
Mhm.
imagine yourself that a few miles from there. Okay, you have like a community of 100 people. Okay, maybe 300 people that they know that if something happened over there, they can give a better security. Okay, because they're people that. They know what to do. Like you said, there is a kibbutzim that nothing happened. Okay, not even one, um, no one get in. Okay, from the terrorists
Yes.
got in because they knew what to do. But there is a kibbutz and other yeshuvim that they got inside and they just you
Yes.
understand this. It's not the same people. It's the same people, not the same training.
In
And
a way, it's like creating a command community that is not in service. So there's this physical security element to it, but I think there's another layer here, which is the psychological and emotional support that such a community can provide. I
right.
think that we're witnessing a continued rise in suicide amongst soldiers, which has raised a lot of question for people. What's the state of healthcare, of mental health care? How are our soldiers being provided for? And maybe this sense of community actually allows for that camaraderie, connection. I mean, I do hear from soldiers and that had returned home. It's hard to return home because at home you're expected normalcy, and for other families who don't have that, and there's like, so if you create this community of soldiers, again, everybody's a soldier, so to speak, in Israel, but this is designed to meet, I think, not only a physical and financial need, but an emotional and a mental one, a psychological one. Is that part of your goal?
Yeah, it's part of it. You're right because it's we've been together. Okay, we know each other. We today we think about it that my team we together since we've been 18. Okay, 32. We know each other for how is it 14 years? Okay, we're still good friends. Okay, with the family, with the kids, we meet. Okay, it's really good relationship with Adra, and I think we have. In our mind when we together we're just much more stronger, we bring more light to the world, we bring more
Mm.
we think about more stuff that we can do and how we can create. I promise you, we don't talk about how to kill more Arabic, okay? This is something that we don't, it's not something that we think in our mind, okay? We think about, like we said, about light, not about the dark and about death and about kind of stuff. It's not in our, it's not something that we think about. We think about how we can create a good stuff. And yeah, that's what we want to do.
It is incredible to me the amount of brain power that exists amongst group of soldiers. And I'm, working with another group of reservists who know each other since they're 18. They're now nearly inching on 60 and still coming up with creative ideas and building businesses together. I have another colleague for 20 years, and his whole industry has been built with his friends from his unit. I think that it's really a astounding insight. Again, we're trying to break down the barriers to what an outsider can imagine about the soldiers' reality here in Israel. And I think these homes for warriors is another layer of what could be grasped. There are going to be a lot of needs, I'm assuming, for the houses as it continues to be built. The project comes to life, and we at Israel Forever are pretty proud to be a partner to help make this happen. And I just want to continue to offer to our global community of virtual citizens of Israel opportunities to touch some of that reality. How can they understand more deeply? Because this is a long war, not just the immediate war that we're fighting since October 7th, but the long war of Israel for Israel. So the more we can personalize it, the more we gain support. And I don't only mean financial support, but yes, at the end of the day, we do always need your support out there in the world for our soldiers. One of the amazing projects that we're so proud to be involved in is these houses for warriors alongside warrior mindset, trying to continuously empower you as we kick off our programming year. We have the holidays coming up, and we're at the onset of a very, very intense time. There's a lot of friction in the air. Will there be a deal? Will the hostages come home? Will this war come to an end? Will these stupid flotilla selfie people? I mean, that's the dichotomy. Itamar, you and I are talking about real things, soldiers' realities, trying to raise a family, bringing light to the world, and they are firing fireworks from a stupid ship and claiming it's a drone, and then they get caught in their own lies. And yet Hollywood is calling out Israel, and this one's calling out Israel, and they're going to declare some state that nobody seems to know where it exists or what are its borders or who are its leaders, but they're going to declare it. Well, Itamar, you stood with me on Declaration Day as we declared our commitment to the ideals of the Declaration of Independence on May 14th and its historical value. I think that there's something to be said for the historical value of continuously providing for our soldiers. So I just want to say kol hakavod to you for continuing to endure and for having enough strength to offer stuff. It's
תודה, Elana, you're the best.
it,
Really,
it's
thank you.
it's a wonderful thing that we are able to do this together, and I'm really proud. I'm proud of having met you randomly on Instagram. See, guys, this is why you take your conversations off of Instagram. You can do great things in the world. The light is in every single one of you. Itamar's not going anywhere. He's all a part of Israel Forever, and we're going to be bringing you yet another warrior mindset training program. So please make sure that you sign up, you join, you follow, and help us by giving to one of these amazing causes. Itamar, what's your message for the world? What do you want to say to people?
First of all, I want to say really, really thank you, okay? Because you're an amazing woman that doing amazing stuff. And I really like to, I want to say like how we met, okay? Because it's interesting. We have connect on Instagram, like you said, And then we to make something happen, we have to talk on the phone, and then we have to make a meeting. Okay, it's not enough to do stuff online. My eyes and your eyes, we have to meet. Okay, eye to eye, and then our soul, we can see each other. And then I see that something that we can create something together. And it's this meeting that happened a year and a half ago, right? 2 years ago, yeah,
That's right.
over the when everything started. So my message to the people that listen right now and say, wow, I want to do something, I think, first of all, write, okay, write to yourself, write to us. What do you want to work on it, okay? And what do you feel that you need help with? And then we can really come in and explain you how you can working on this with your life with the small stuff, okay? It's not have to be something really huge, and just the small steps, okay? Start with the small steps, like I said, to meet, to do something like eye to eye, and
That's right.
yeah.
It's one-on-one. You have gained 1,000 people on your project. I mean, I'm trying to get like a few volunteers to take some of our activism outward, and it's really tough. I mean, 1,000 people. Do you do one-on-ones with everybody? Do you break it down? You think that other people are capable of building such a dynamic collective of interested and passionate people?
So you're right what you say right now, okay? Because I in the future, I will see them eyes to eyes. Right now, we have a WhatsApp group, okay, a huge one, and I give them a lot of stuff that I'm doing. Okay, every day I have like a meeting. So in the end of the week, I'm writing all the meetings and everything that would have happened. And in the beginning of the week, I'm telling them what I'm gonna do for this product that keep going to do the steps. And then in the end of the month, they get everything that have done. And right now we're doing like a webinar once in a week, and I'm doing a lot of calling, like 15 minutes of conversation with each other, okay, with someone that want. I did a hundred. A lot of people right now when we talk in inside Gaza or in the north or everything in the world, because we we keep fighting. But I think we build this relationship in 8 months. That's something really really good happened over here, and yeah, right now we're still building more stuff.
You know what? WhatsApp has really, it was revolutionized the way that we can make an impact. And I think that it's great to be able to stay in touch with people in such a way in the interim, because getting together face to face doesn't have to be person to person, even though you and I enjoyed being able to, get to know each other. But you're in Tel Aviv and I'm in the mountains outside of Jerusalem. And you know what? It's not so easy. And plus, you're often in the field. So we have been really lucky to live in a digital age. That digital age is being conquered by hate. We can continue to spread the love. Guys, find ways, find WhatsApp groups. Then Israel Forever, of course, has a variety of communities. And one of them is Israel Strong. So you come and make sure that you are joined as a member and you get our mailings and you follow us on all of the platforms so that the next Warrior Mindset workshop that we are going to offer, you'll be able to be a part of and gain from, so that you locally can feel more strong as the nation of Israel. And I think that's what you, our soldiers, Itamar, you and all of your friends, I know when I came to visit you on Nachal Oz, it affects me to this day. I was just yesterday at Shuva and visiting all of the sites, as I often do, just to um, do what I can to absorb their pain and bring them light. And I think it's something that people can do even from far away. So please, everyone, stay in touch, stay connected, because that's how your strength will grow. Itamar, you've often spoken about the need for making the decision. Like the soldiers who unfortunately have taken their lives, they did not utilize the resources at their disposal, and they are living in something they didn't have to imagine. It lives within them, that darkness. Finding the light requires someone else sometimes. So we can all be that someone else. Elie Wiesel had said, hope is like peace. It is a gift that only we can give one another, and we have an obligation to give it to one another. Itamar, you bring me hope in the soldiers and the soldiers' commitment and the hope for the security of our country, and also for these great ways that you're coming together with colleagues to do more for your children and for mine. It's really incredible. So thank you, everybody. Thank you out there. Thank you, Itamar. You're
Thank you
going to be
very
safe. We're going to do this again soon. We're going to see you again soon.
We're gonna
For the
do
next,
it again. We're gonna keep going, doing it
that's
again.
right. Okay,
With
stay tuned for the next Warrior Mindset Israel Strong program so that wherever you are in the world, you'll meet eye to eye with Itamar Hayun and learn a few new tools and tactics that you can employ while we face a pretty challenging time, but not a time for any of us to give up hope. Thank you, everybody, for being with us today. Come to israelforever.org, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you.